Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Army Building in Euclid, Ohio, it's the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Today on Cleveland Sports 360, no other than Browns quarterback brother, Ty Weeden, joins us here today. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the voice of Cleveland Sports. It's your boy, LG.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, wherever you're at. It's afternoon on the West Coast. It's evening here on the East Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show coming at you live from streamingsportstalk.com, high above the Omni building in beautiful Euclid, Ohio, just on the east side of beautiful downtown Cleveland. Tonight, as my man Kenyon Johnson said, we're going to have a special guest, none other than Ty Weeden, the brother of Brandon Weeden, the Cleveland Browns' 22nd pick in the NFL draft. Many of you probably don't realize, but Ty Weeden was an athlete himself. He was drafted in the 16th round in 2006 by the Boston Red Sox to be a catcher and a first baseman. He was a right-handed power hitter, something the Cleveland Indians certainly could use. Ty Weeden played professional baseball all the way through the 2009 season, and he competed in a few games in the 2010 season. Ty Weeden is Brandon Weeden's brother, and Brandon Weeden is now the Cleveland Browns quarterback. With a little help from other people in the organization, Brandon Weeden will be able to step in and hopefully get the Browns some wins. Maybe you don't know the history between LG at Cleveland Sports 360 and Brandon Weeden, but I mistakenly sent him a couple of tweets that probably didn't agree with him last week. I noticed Mr. Weeden, the quarterback for the Browns, said he was just getting a massage, and I kindly try to point out that 3 for 9 sucks. Now, what I meant by that, ladies and gentlemen, was the statistics sucked. By no means did I mean Brandon Weeden sucks. I know it's preseason football. It's probably not fair to judge the performance of a rookie quarterback, even though Brandon Weeden is 28 years old, on a couple of preseason performances. But joining us live, all the way from Oklahoma City, the brother of Brandon Weeden, Ty Weeden. Ty, you with us?
Yeah, hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Well, for you people that don't know who Ty Weeden is, Ty, tell us a little bit about yourself. You as well as Brandon both started out in the Major League Baseball industry, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brandon was drafted by the Yankees. I was drafted by the Red Sox. I got drafted in 2006. Out of high school, actually, and did that for 5 years. Really didn't pan out. I had a lot of injuries along the way, and just felt like it was time and try to go back to school and get my degree.
A lot of people don't realize what a tough job it is. I mean, you took the toughest route to the major leagues there is. Being a catcher in the major leagues, there's no harder position to play, is there?
No, it's like you said. A lot of people don't understand the longevity of the game. You have 162 games. You got to play every day, and you're getting paid to play every day. So you missing days and all that really doesn't go over well. It's a long season. It's a long season. Does a lot to your body.
Well, I can imagine, man. I mean, we've had some great catchers through the Cleveland Indians, Sandy Alomar being the last one. I'm sure you grew up watching a little bit of Sandy Alomar when the Indians were a great team and went to the World Series, and that's we certainly could have used you, Ty, a right-handed power hitter this season on our ball club, because we're struggling, and we're struggling big time. It seems like they turned off a switch as soon as the All-Star break came and went. The Indians off switch went into effect.
That's baseball, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some bad series and some losing streaks to go, but you can turn around and win 12, 15 games in a row. things get turned around. That's baseball for you.
That's the way it looks, but I don't see it happening with our Indians this year. We lost 11 in a row, and we were just on a 5-game losing streak. I think we lost the 5th game yesterday to the Oakland A's. We're used to it. We're used to losing here in Cleveland, and as a matter of fact, I think some of my frustration over the losing is what brought Ty Weeden and LG together. I mean, obviously, our first encounter on Twitter wasn't a very friendly one, was it, Ty?
No, man. It's just one of those things. I'm a fan. I've been a fan of sports for a long time. I can understand the frustration. You got to try to put yourself at athlete's feet in the position and understand. They want to win probably just as much or more than any fan out there. So they, as a fan on the outside, you got to be able to realize that hey, they're out there doing what they can. I promise. They're not out there just having fun and making a lot of money. That's not what it's all about.
Well, not only that, I mean, these guys are taking one hell of a beating, too. I mean, we saw your brother take a hit in Green Bay the other night that wasn't too friendly, kind of knocked the wind right out of him. And next thing you know, he was couldn't even talk in the huddle, from what I understood, and had a hard time calling the next play. But welcome to the NFL. I mean,
exactly. He needs it.
Yeah, he pretty much went through Oklahoma unscathed. Isn't that about right? I mean, he never got beat up too bad over there.
He never got hit.
Right.
He never got hit.
Well, the thing is, coming from college into the NFL, I'm sure Brandon already realizes this, but, you played a little bit of quarterback in your life as well. I don't think you had the same success that your brother's having right now, and obviously you picked the baseball route to go. But you were one of those quarterbacks that liked to run around a little bit and hit people. Is that right?
Yeah, I was a big body. I was probably the same size as my mom in high school, and I could pretty athletic. I could run and throw, and we ran a different offense. I mean, I threw it a lot too, but most of our offense was on the ground.
Well, let me ask you, how far did you go in football, Ty?
Honestly, I signed really my junior year for baseball. So right when that happened, I didn't talk to anybody about football because I never really thought about going football to the next level. And just really, never. I got some little offers from business dudes and stuff like that, but it never went past that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us live all the way from Oklahoma is Ty Weeden, the brother of Cleveland Browns quarterback Brandon Weeden, the rookie 28-year-old quarterback. Now, what do you think of that, Ty Weeden? 28 years old, you're a rookie, you're coming into the NFL. What's your take? I know this is your brother, you grew up with him for your entire life. What is your take on your brother starting an NFL career at 28 years old, man?
Very different. I don't think you can really plan something like that out. It's really, it's cool. It really is cool. But just like everybody else, he doesn't have the 22, 23-year-old body anymore. You know what I mean? He's got 6 or 7 years on a lot of these rookies, and I have to realize that his longevity ain't going to be there. It's not there like these guys. They're 10 or 10 to 15 years and all that. But I think from you can say all the negatives, he's been positive. From a maturity standpoint, he's been through a lot. We talked to him. Baseball, that's the most draining mentally sport that you can play. Because of everything you've gone through, and then what happened to OSU and how he had to go through that whole adversity and where he is now. Even all the success he had at OSU, he was still getting questioned about his age. It's like he could do whatever he did at OSU, and people would always find a way to downplay it because of his age. He's going to fight that for the rest of his career. So. Well,
it's so unusual to get a guy 28 years old that's a rookie in the NFL. It's definitely in the top 10 of unusual things that happen. Now, let's go back a little bit. Let's start out with Brandon Weeden's baseball career. What was the final straw that made Brandon quit playing professional baseball?
I honestly think that it got to a point where he was having arm trouble and wouldn't have very much success. And I think it was everything was just kind of slowly falling apart in that sense. He went to his last spring training. He felt okay, and his arms kind of started to bother him. And I think he just said, he's like, man, I just don't think I'm not going to be in the big leagues. Like, that's just not what's going to happen. So I'm going to end it here and go try to play football. So, talking to him, I mean, I think he was done, mentally just done. And if it's not fun for you anymore, then yeah, you're over it. You don't want to do it.
Now, Ty, let's talk about his arm for a little bit, because obviously you've thrown the baseball quite a bit in your life. I mean, being a catcher, you had to have a good arm to get it down to second base. And let's face it, even to get to the level of competition that you achieved, even though you're not on the major league field playing every day, 162 games, you still had to be in the top percentage of, 1% of everybody that ever played baseball makes it even into the level that you made it to. How much difference is there throwing a football compared to throwing a 97-mile-an-hour fastball? Because that's what Brandon Weeden. Yeah, I mean,
seeing him every offseason, neither one of us would really pick up a baseball until about a month before we leave. We just throw a football because the stress on your arm, I can't really explain it. I don't know why, but you get it strengthens it. You don't get the wear and tear. And it's just like, when you're on the mound, you're throwing 100, you're trying to throw 100% pretty much every pitch. When you're throwing a pass, it's not really like that. You can throw a touch fade, or you can throw, stuff like that. It's a lot different. And I think the shoulder takes a big, big wear and tear when you're throwing a football every single day.
Okay, so back to Brandon Weeden's arm. In your estimation, do the city of Clevelanders have anything to worry about when it comes to Brandon Weeden's arm in lasting through an NFL season?
No. His arm's fine. I think that's the last worry. I think Cleveland fans, I think just being a fan of the Cleveland Browns now, I want to win just as bad as every fan out there, I promise. Just support. There's gonna be some tough roads along the way, but also there's gonna be a lot of good wins coming, and I think it's gonna be an exciting season for Cleveland for sure.
Okay, well, how about we take about a 1-minute break, Ty, and then we come back. Can you hold on for 1 minute, man? We got to pay some bills and run a couple commercials. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 1-minute break. We're going to get right back to Ty Weeden, the brother of Cleveland Browns quarterback Brandon Weeden. We'll be back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right after this message. Don't forget, if you're looking for a place to catch Browns games this year, get over to the Captain's Club on Vine Street. They've got some great Browns bundles coming into play for every Cleveland Browns game. Hey, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Tonight, our special guest, all the way from Oklahoma, is Ty Weeden, Brandon Weeden's brother, the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Ty, you still with us?
I'm here.
That's great, man. Hey, before the commercial break, we were talking about the difference between throwing the football and the baseball on arm wear and tear, and you kind of said you don't believe that Brandon Weeden's arm is ever going to enter into the equation as far as playing for the Cleveland Browns, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's get back now. How surprised were you when Brandon Weeden was picked in the first round of the NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns?
Surprised. I mean, if you're not surprised, you never know what's going to happen on draft day. You know, me and Brandon both went through the baseball draft, and we were both told a lot of different things. And, you know, you never know what to believe. So when he got that call, it was a big surprise. I mean, it's excitement, surprise, and, you know, it was a crazy feeling.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in the Cleveland area surprised with that pick, too. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been picked, but what we're saying is maybe 22 in the first round seemed kind of high for a Brandon Weeden. I mean, because he's a 28-year-old, soon-to-be 29-year-old quarterback for the Cleveland Browns on October, 14th? You guys going to send him a cake or what?
No.
So anyways, Ty, let's go back to the Senior Bowl when Brandon appeared in the Senior Bowl this year. It seemed like Brandon Weeden was a hot topic by a lot of NFL scouts before he played the game in the Senior Bowl. And there was even a lot of scouts saying Brandon Weeden could be a silent weapon. Like he didn't really get noticed that much. Then the Senior Bowl came into play, and all of a sudden Brandon Weeden was getting noticed. Are you familiar with that at all, Ty?
Oh yeah, I mean I remember, you know, my whole family actually went down to Alabama and did all that, and we heard the hype. It was cool. It was a cool feeling, but also it was just, I think just everything was so downplayed during the year. The whole with the offense they ran and stuff. I don't think anybody really put a good thought into what he did or what they did at OSU.
Yeah, so back to when you say OSU, you're talking about Oklahoma State University, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people hear OSU and right away they think of Ohio State University. I just want to clarify that. I know we went to Oklahoma, but some of the people out there, Oklahoma State, definitely not Ohio State. Although maybe we could have used him at Ohio State. We've had a few problems down there. And does he have any tattoos?
No, he does not.
See that? He could have saved us a lot of aggravation with the NCAA, man. But back to the Senior Bowl. Then Brandon Weeden went and played in the game, and he threw 5 completions out of 9 passes and 2 interceptions. A lot of people said the scouts really lost interest, and he dropped it down to a 4th or a 5th round draft pick. Did you guys hear any of that kind of chatter happening?
No. Not at all. You know, we are going into the game. The game doesn't matter anything. It's all the preparation before the game. You never know what's going to happen when you get guys on the field that never played together, don't want to get hurt. You know, a lot of things goes into that. We heard more or less practices, and the competition in practice was more substantial than what happened in the game.
So basically, the game didn't have any bearing, and these people that are saying Brandon Weeden's stock fell to 4th or 5th round, they don't know what they're talking about, right?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that you can judge however you want. I'm just saying from what I heard, the game doesn't make a huge difference.
Yeah, it's more like a party beforehand, right? Anyways, one of those hoopla bowls, you know what I'm talking about? You know, but anyways, you got to get invited to go to the Senior Bowl. I mean, Brandon Weeden was obviously good enough to be one of the invitees. They just don't let anybody into the Senior Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a privilege to get invited, for sure.
Yeah. So, obviously, Tom Heckert and the Cleveland Browns were going to pick the number 22 in the draft. From what I understand, and I don't know if you've ever heard this, Tom Heckert did not want to pick Brandon Weeden with the 22nd pick in the Cleveland Browns draft. Did you know that?
I didn't.
And then
I had no idea.
You did not know that.
I didn't know that either. Who told you that?
It's a fact.
It's not a fact.
Yes, it's a fact.
No,
yes, it's a fact. Turn off your microphone.
No, I'm not
shut
turning
up.
my mic off.
Tom Heckert did not want Brandon Weeden as the 22. Mike Holmgren demanded that Heckert took Weeden, and Heckert said there's no way that he's going to take Weeden unless Mike Holmgren actually makes the call, and that's exactly what happened. It doesn't matter. He is the Cleveland Browns quarterback. I was just asking if Ty Weeden was aware of that. Are you aware of that, Ty?
No, I had no idea. I mean, you know how much stuff goes around, man. I bet.
Right.
I bet 10% of
it,
it's true.
Okay, so maybe this is an untrue, but so you never heard anything like that.
He got picked 22 by the Cleveland Browns, and now he's a starting quarterback.
Right.
That's all I know.
That's right. So let's go back into the Cleveland Browns organization. What did Brandon Weeden think when he thought he was going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns and they run a West Coast offense? That's not really Brandon Weeden's strong point, is it, Ty?
I mean, you adjust to every offense. I think, he has to adjust to them. They got to adjust to his strengths. Just, that's kind of what the NFL is going. I said it the other day on ESPN. They feel like teams are adjusting more to the players than the players adjusting to the teams by what they bring to a team. I feel like that's true. You got to adjust everybody's strength. And, Brandon, of course, his strength is throwing the football. And I think, my opinion is they'll probably throw the football a little bit than they did last year. But you also have the best running back, in the nation coming out of college last year with Trent Richardson. So He's going to get his share of hands.
And I hope to God, and I got to say this because we went through it with Montario Hardesty, and I really love Montario Hardesty, and I'm not saying, anything about I think Montario and Richardson in the backfield would definitely complement each other. But what I am saying is we went through 2 years of waiting for Hardesty to get to the point where he is now. Now, I did a show with Montario Hardesty. He was good enough to come down to the studio, and we did an hour together. But what it took Hardesty to get back into shape and get out there and play the kind of football that we're seeing Montario play this year, I just hope it is not going to happen to Trent Richardson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I know that. I mean, no one wishes that upon anybody. Like I said, so many things have to happen right. I mean, you have to stay healthy. And in the National Football League, that's the hardest thing to do is stay healthy.
And believe me when I tell you this, man. I mean, you don't know me from Adam. I'm a very nice guy, but this guy has me a little bit nervous because he's going to get popped, and your brother's going to be on his back. I'm a little worried he's going to get hurt.
Hold up.
The Browns' offensive line sucks.
Can I interrupt, LG? Do you mind if I interrupt real quick?
It doesn't matter if I mind or not. You would always interrupt.
Ty. Yep. This is Kenyon Johnson, man. I got to tell you, man, LG really has this, he really is in love with Colt McCoy for some reason. I have no idea.
Don't listen to him.
Now, listen to me, man. I've seen 2 years of Colt McCoy. I've seen what I can see with him. I know what he is. He's a backup quarterback. What do you think in Colt McCoy? That's what I got to ask you. And I don't want the politically correct answer. Is your brother right now better equipped to run the Cleveland Browns than Colt McCoy?
That's hard for me to answer, man. I mean, I'm not there every day. I don't watch practice every day. I've seen my brother play and practice, and I think my brother could play for a lot of teams. I don't think it's just, I think he could go in and make the team better, period. Colt McCoy, I think he's kind of had the rough end of the stick. Granted, things haven't worked out the past few years. Do I think Brandon gives the Cleveland Browns a good chance to win? No doubt about it. I think I think a lot of people are going to be surprised this year about, what the offense is going to bring to the table. And, like I said, I want the fans to step back and just give everybody a chance. You're judging off preseason game.
Right.
That's really hard to judge off of.
Well, you know what? When I was younger, man, and, I'm probably double your age, that's what we judged football off of. No, I don't think I'm triple, Kenyon. That's what we judged football off of, man. It was completely different in the old days. I'll tell you another thing. I mean, look at today. We got the new collective bargaining agreement. We don't even have two-a-days no more. And these athletes aren't even in the shape that they were in the years past. So now we're going to send these guys out onto the football field. We're going to have them do the same battle. I mean, I don't know if you looked at the statistics, but running into a 350-pound frickin' offensive lineman or defensive lineman coming at you full speed, that is equivalent to a car accident, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's cut the workouts in half now. These guys are going to be half prepared to go out there in the season unless they have a hell of an off-season training like Montario did just to get his body into shape. That's like Pat Shurmur said. He was surprised that he was proud of the pounding Hardesty took in Green Bay the other night. And really, that wasn't nothing, man.
Yeah, well, my outlook is when you're a professional athlete, you are getting paid to play national football.
Right.
And your body is your weapon. You know what I'm saying? You have to treat your body like you would anything else. So the training you do in the off season, if you're just going to lay around and do all that and expect to come in and do well, I mean, something's wrong. I mean, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys, like, they just want to have the downtime and rest their body. Well, you can't rest all off season and expect to come into training camp and try to get prepared. I mean, it's just not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, you got the OTAs and everything else, and there should be some off-site training during the offseason. But let's get back into the offense. And, you know, you think your brother can play for a lot of different NFL teams. Are you worried about Brandon Weeden being the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in 2012 with the offensive line the Cleveland Browns currently have?
I mean, no. I mean, from Brandon's feedback, he has a great offensive line. And all I can say is that's just hearing it from him. I think if he's not worried about it, then I'm not worried about it.
Well, one thing I want to tell you, man, and you got to admit this is probably you cannot bad rep. You can't be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns and say our offensive line needs a little bit of work.
Well, the difference is, LG, he can actually see over the offensive line, unlike your boy.
Well, let's get something straight right now, and I told this to Ty Weeden earlier on the phone. I'm not a Colt McCoy lover. I'm a lover of who's going to go out there and give the Cleveland Browns the best chance to win a frickin' football game.
Ty.
The city of Cleveland's been losing football games since 1999. We've had one winning season, and Ty Weeden knows that. It was a fluke. I mean, Ty, didn't I tell you this, man? I want a winning frickin' football team. I don't care.
We had two winning seasons. 9-7, 10-6. We didn't make the playoffs. Ty, I got to ask you though. Do you think arm strength? Who has the better arm strength, Weeden or McCoy?
My brother.
All right, go back to you, LG.
That's all Kenyon wants to do is try to make this into a Weeden and a Colt McCoy type of thing, and that's definitely not what I wanted to do tonight, Ty. But I did.
It's not about that. It doesn't matter how good my brother plays or how bad he plays. It's not. It's going to come down to who, you know, at the end of the game, who's winning the football game.
That's what I want, man. I want to win.
You know, you look at your fans. If Brandon does have a bad game and they win, do you really think they're still going to be complaining? I don't think so. You know, if they get to the playoffs and Brandon has a mediocre year,
if we get to the playoffs, are you kidding me, man? We'll be ecstatic, and we don't care what kind of year he has. To tell you the truth, man. If we made it, honest to God, man, we've been losing so long here. If we made it to 9-7, he's had a successful year. Believe it.
Yeah.
You know, we won 4 frickin' football games last year. I don't know what else to tell you, man. It's been terrible.
I can say that from every standpoint. You know, and him coming from OSU, they didn't lose a lot of games, man. And I know it's college and all that, but he's just as devastated as anybody else.
You hear the garbage come out of there. I mean, they're playing football. It's full tackle football at OSU. They're in the Big 12. A lot of people want to tell you there's no defense in the Big 12. Have you ever heard that statement?
All the time.
Hey, Ty, I got to ask this. Earlier, before either one of these guys got into the NFL draft, and Trent Richardson and your brother, Brandon Weeden, they both came to Cleveland at the same time, visited with the facility, visited with the coaching. I'm quite sure you speak with your brother, if not every day, at least every other. What did he say that experience was like?
Great. You know, he said it was a great experience going in with Trent, and then he was just all he talked about was how passionate and how truthful they were to him, and they told him what they wanted. You know, what they wanted as a team, as an organization, and that's all they talked about, and how much they want to win. And it's, you know what I'm saying? And I think that caught Brandon's attention. It's just that was the number one thing.
That they want to win.
I think that spoke a lot to him.
Well, your brother's actually coming into a situation that's really a loaded powder keg right now, man, because we got a new owner taking over the Cleveland Browns. Your brother obviously didn't know Jimmy Haslam was going to buy the team at the time he was drafted. Holmgren is saying he didn't even know about it back then. The funny part with Mike Holmgren is all of a sudden when the deal comes out and it's announced, oh, yeah, they talk to me every day about it. But weeks prior to that, when the rumors were circulating around, he didn't know nothing about it. So, unfortunately, Brandon Weeden gets drafted to a team that's going to get new ownership. Now, I know if he goes out there and plays winning football, nothing's going to happen to Brandon Weeden. He'll be here next year, too. Jimmy Haslam is crazy as this sounds to you, Ty. We're getting a frickin' Pittsburgh Steelers fan coming into Cleveland that's going to turn the Browns around and make them into a winning football team.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, that's
but, what can you say? The Steelers have been a great organization for a long time, great franchise.
And the reason why
I don't think you can really ask for anything more.
The reason why is stability. Nobody has more stability in the National Football League than the Rooney family and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's very hard to come by, that kind of stability. We've had 17 quarterbacks in 13 years. Now, going back to your brother's strengths, obviously his arm strength is the big deal. What do you do when you're sitting on your couch, you're watching NFL football, the Cleveland Browns versus the Green Bay Packers, and Pat Shurmur is sending plays in for 2 yards here and 3 yards there? What's your thought about the play calling for the Cleveland Browns, man?
I like the play calling, but the run game was on against the Packers. Why not stick with it? All that's going to do is open up passing lanes.
Don't you think that the run game was on a little bit more than it should have been to give your brother a little extra added confidence rather than get his butt beat by these guys that want to kill him?
No, man. I don't think my brother lacks confidence. I think he'll be fine in that. I think he's wants to get in a rhythm of playing a half and getting in a rhythm of getting a feel of what's going to come in next. As a quarterback, you're a play ahead. So I know he's always thinking okay, well, if we're doing this, we can do this next play. I feel like it was a fun game to watch. I thought the play calling was great. You took chances when they needed to. I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it.
Okay, man. We're going to take one more commercial break with you. Can you still hang on one more minute, Ty?
Yeah,
okay, we're on the phone with Ty Weeden, Brandon Weeden's brother from the Cleveland Browns quarterback. We're talking to Ty what his brother's strengths are and what he's going to do for the Cleveland Browns in the 2012 season right here on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Don't forget, catch all the Browns games when they're happening on Vine Street in beautiful East Lake, Ohio at the Captain's Club. They got a great bundle package going on during every Browns game. Get to streamingsportstalk.com. Check out the Captain's Club link. Click on it. Go to their site. You'll be amazed what a sports bar this is. You like playing golf? They got golf simulators there going year-round. 48 different golf courses for you to play. Check it out now. The Captain's Club. Hey, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. In case you're just tuning in now, live on the phone all the way from Oklahoma, we have Ty Weeden, former professional Major League Baseball player and brother of Brandon Weeden, the Browns' 22nd pick in the 2012 NFL Draft and their starting quarterback. Now, Ty, you still there, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey, not too much, man. We were talking a little bit about the play calling from the Cleveland Browns, and you were telling us you kind of liked what you saw last Thursday night. Let's get into this West Coast offense a little bit, man. How much trouble has Brandon Weeden had adapting to the West Coast style offense?
I don't think very much. I mean, I think the number one concern coming out of college was him going under center, which, you know, pretty much everybody in college is out of gun now. So that's a transition everybody makes. I think he's going to handle it fine. It's practice, man. Everybody has to do the same thing. Everybody's got it's repetition and all that. So
they were talking about the Senior Bowl. It looked like he had a little bit of off balance and stuff like that coming out of underneath the center. Did you believe that to be true at all?
No, I mean, one time the only thing I could think of is his lineman stepped on his foot. He fell. That's it. When
you got a 330-pound guy stepping on your foot, it's never going to be conducive of running a great play. Now,
no doubt.
Bill Walsh, the architect of the West Coast style offense, he said, and he said it many times, that he felt it took 3 years for a quarterback to learn all the schemes in the West Coast style offense. Do you feel the Cleveland Browns organization is rushing your brother Brandon Weeden into the game too soon?
I mean, no. I think there's a reason they took him to 22 overall. I mean, they think he can do it, and you know, I don't think you take somebody 22nd overall just to, you know, watch him sit. You know, especially at 28 years old. I think they have no confidence in him to come in and run something and run it well. I mean, that's just my thinking on it.
Ty, when your brother looked at the roster after being drafted and looked at his wide receivers, Greg Little, Massaquoi, now we got Travis Benjamin, a speedster. Did he call you and was like, WTF?
Not really, man. I mean, it's. You know, he had one big name guy at OSU, and then I guarantee you, if you ask anybody else who was the wide receivers at OSU, nobody had any idea who they were. You know, Josh Cooper, which is on the Browns right now, he was a huge part of the offense. You know, it's all about, you know, just getting in the right place, getting in the guys right at the right time. I don't think, you know, I think that's pretty not a good thing to say. It's just about, like, personnel. I mean, granted, you know, your Calvin Johnson and guys like that, they don't come every day, but those are freaks, man.
So he said he loves Carlton Mitchell.
Carlton Mitchell, I don't even know who that is, so you got me there.
I don't even think we've seen him in preseason yet. He's a Browns receiver. I don't believe we've seen him at all. I don't remember seeing him out there on the field. And if he was, nobody, even Colt McCoy, didn't throw a pass to this guy, man. So let me ask you a question, man. Your brother's coming into the NFL. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's a little bit out of place because he's 28 years old. And he's on a new team with new guys. The speed of the game is second to none. I mean, you cannot compare the speed of college football to the speed of the NFL. What did your brother say about a guy like Colt McCoy? Has he been a big help to Brandon Weeden or not?
Yeah, actually, he has. He said he has. I mean, he said all the guys. He said Seneca's been there, and they've all kind of helped him along the way. I mean, you know, I don't know. My thing is when you're on the field, you're competing, but also you take what you've been given. You know what I mean? So I think if you have a bad attitude going into it, it's gonna make everything worse. So I think that's kind of the attitude Colt's been. I mean, you look at all the interviews he's done and all that, and I mean, I think, you know, he's in it for the long haul. He wants to do whatever he can to help out. I mean, he's still playing like he's a starting quarterback. So
absolutely,
like I said, I mean. You got to go into it. It's a job, man.
Oh, absolutely, and everybody's out there to get their starting position. But let me ask you: can your brother run?
Can my brother run?
Absolutely.
I mean, what do you call running?
If somebody's chasing him, is he able to get away?
Man, he'll be quick enough to get away. I mean, he's done it a few times this preseason. I think he'll find a way to get away and throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, because
he's not going to be your. If you want to say, he's not going to be your Colt McCoy and be able to scramble and all that and do all that. I mean, I think he'll get out of some plays, but
in other words, he's not going to be able to scramble and get sacked and get picked off. He's going to be able to release quick to the wide receiver and actually see the wide receiver while he's in.
That's Kenyon. You know, let's get one thing
That's
understood here, real quick here, Mr. Kenyon Johnson. Brandon Weeden's brother, Ty Weeden, is on the phone with us, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Oklahoma. We're talking about the Browns starting quarterback, Brandon Weeden, tonight on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. Let's get one thing understood, because Ty Weeden has no idea in God's green earth who the hell Kenyon Johnson is.
You don't know.
This is a guy.
He knows me.
This is a guy that
I'm a
has,
household name. You
yeah,
have no
this is
idea
a guy
he knows me.
that can't see over the frickin' offensive line himself. He's like 4'11" tall, and he's always had this big man. You know, what do you call it, man? He's jealous. He's envious, man. He can't see over the frickin' window in his car. We had to put telephone books underneath of him. But how tall are you, Kenyon?
I'm 5'6".
5'6".
I'm 2 inches shorter than Colt McCoy.
So that's Kenyon's stink. For the last 2 years, Colt McCoy's been too little to throw the ball over the top of these offensive linemen. And I'm sure it could happen to anybody, even Brandon Weeden.
Ty, in all seriousness, there's a reason the Cleveland Browns drafted a quarterback at number 22 and officially named him the starter for the regular season after they drafted him. A Cleveland sports fan knew that this guy was going to start off right at the top. The Colt McCoy, they're trying to trade him. I think they should still keep him as a backup. But what I got to say is, tell us what are your brother's strengths as a quarterback?
I mean, accuracy, arm strength, the big playability. I think he can throw a big ball. He's smart, man. I mean, he's going to take some chances, and you've seen that. But also, I think he'll check down if he needs to. He's a winner, man. I mean, if you just look at everything, he's going to bring a winning mentality, and he's good. I mean, I think confidence. He won't lack confidence. Won't lack any of that. Bring a good positive vibe to the city and hopefully the team.
Well, I'm definitely going to be the first guy to, I would come up right away and say, I hope I'm wrong. And I told you that before. I hope I am totally wrong, and this guy comes out and the Browns march right down the field in every game, and they get touchdowns. And we've had weeks where we didn't see a touchdown in Cleveland, man. I mean, you laugh about it, but Kenyon's been on Browns lockout. He won't even wear anything we do live broadcast during the Browns game. He won't even wear a Browns paraphernalia.
All they have to do is win 2 games in a row.
So tell your brother, when you talk to your brother, they got to win 2 games in a row, or Kenyon Johnson's not going to wear one of his 400 Brown shirts that are hanging in his closet. Okay. 2 in a row he's got to win, man. To get Kenyon Johnson off a Browns lockout. He's been on lockout all last year. I think it started in the 4th game. But, I'm really hoping your brother's a successful guy. I just have my serious doubts, because I know coming from the college ranks to the NFL, it's a tough transition. I don't give a shit who you are, man. You could be Bart Starr. It had to be a tough. One of the smartest quarterbacks I ever had the privilege of seeing in my lifetime was Bernie Kosar. Okay? Are you familiar with Bernie?
I am.
Did you ever get the opportunity to see him play, though?
I didn't, no.
Yeah, because you were probably not born yet, right? I mean, what year were you born?
No.
Bernie Kosar was one of the smartest quarterbacks that ever played for the Cleveland Browns, and he sat for the first 8 games before he was the starter. What makes Brandon Weeden smarter and better than Bernie Kosar? Tell us.
Freaking McCoy. Bernie Kosar had...
Can you doing your Colt McCoy shit?
No, listen. Bernie Kosar had Gary Danielson.
Gary Danielson was no frickin' genius.
No, but he was a veteran quarterback that won games. Brandon Weeden has Colt McCoy as his backup. Of course,
he's going to Seneca Wallace in there.
He's going to definitely start over Seneca Wallace. Come on, let's ask him. That's a really basic question, LG.
Oh, so it's worth taking Brandon Weeden out on the field, getting him killed, just because Colt McCoy sucks that bad.
They got a great line.
They got a great line, my ass. How many sacks you think we're going to see Friday night, Kenyon?
Ty Weeden.
Hopefully, I don't know. I mean, they played well. They played well against Green Bay.
Well, thank God for that.
Like I said, it's early, man. I mean, granted, I know no one likes to hear that, but every day it's something new. So,
well, tell us what do you think about a guy like Bill Walsh saying it takes 3 years to learn the West Coast offense? Do you really think? And you know, we probably can't even ask you that question to get a real answer. That Colt McCoy is such a problem that we got to have Brandon Weeden to throw him in the face of the fire, man. Brandon Weeden can get thrown into the face of the fire and come out, and he's going to be fine. Is that what you're telling us, Ty?
I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is I think he's going to give you a good opportunity to win. You know, I'm not trying to hype my brother up like he's the best thing in the world, because he's going to make mistakes. The fact is, I think the highs and lows, I think he's going to deal with those well. And I think the things that he can bring to a team are, you know, it's a positive. You know, he like I said, that whole 3 years to learn a West Coast offense. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, that's coming from a guy that, you know, that hadn't been. I mean, obviously that was there. That
well, I got a big
judgment on something. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like some guys learn quicker and all that, you know, before than others. So I kind of find that I don't believe that.
Well, there is guys that definitely learn quicker than others, man. And you know what? As far as interviews go, with a guy's brother who's starting with the frickin' Cleveland Browns in the NFL for his first time ever, and he's 28 years old, you are more honest than most people are in everyday life. You're not really fluffing them up. You're just giving us an honest assessment of what you know Brandon Weeden can do. And I really appreciate that, Ty. You've been a gentleman the entire time. Tell your brother when you talk to him, LG didn't mean no harm. I was trying, you know, I'm the kind of guy that wants to psych people up, man. I would love to go in the locker room and be able to talk to these Cleveland Browns before a game, because Pat Shurmur looks like he's on Quaaludes half the time, man. And I don't even know if you know. Do you know what a Quaalude is, Ty?
I don't.
It's a downer drug that was popular in the 70s, man. It looks like they got him tranquilized half the time. Well, you know, they battled this. If I hear this guy come on and we lose all these frickin' football games this year, and he goes, we battled. We heard this a million times last year, we battled. But, hey, tell us what you're doing nowadays. Tell us what Ty Weeden is doing. And if people want to get a hold of Ty Weeden or look you up on Twitter, give us a shout-out to Ty Weeden, man. Tell us what you're doing and where they can get a hold of you, man.
I'm actually still in Oklahoma. I actually took a baseball coaching job. I'm at the assistant coach at the Oklahoma Christian University here in Edmond, Oklahoma. I actually just took the job. My head coach in high school for baseball we've been talking for a few months, and I finally gave in and said I'd help him out. And, you know, it's a great opportunity. You know, I'm excited for everything, and ready to get school going.
Well, that's fantastic, man. I'm sure Ty Weeden has a lot of baseball to teach young people, and why not learn it from a guy like you who's been there and was very close. Now, what stopped you from playing baseball? I know we talked a little earlier. You had a couple injuries and some surgeries. You want to elaborate on that at all?
Yeah, man. I played well my first 2 years, and then my second year going in, I pulled my knee, had to have surgery, missed that whole year, came back for spring training. Was playing well. Then I had to have hand surgery, so I missed almost 3/4 of that next year, and then came in, and that was kind of the end of my straw. And then I got released, and the Nationals picked me up, and then I played with them for half the season, and had a weird deal. I got hit in the hand, and you know they thought I was broke, and you know either way, it took about 2 months. They found out my wrist was broke, and then I was mentally done, man. My body took a beating, and I was mentally just done. And I wanted to come home and get school started, and you know, I knew my brother would be playing, so you know, there's just a lot of things that played into it, and you know, just like I said, it all worked out how it's supposed to. I have no regrets for what I did.
Well, you know, being a catcher, people don't realize how hard that is on the knees in itself. But tell us, if you were a catcher in the Major League Baseball or getting sacked as a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, what's the tougher beating, man?
Whew, man.
It's pretty close, isn't it?
Hit. I mean, I've been hit, you know, like I said, and granted, I got hit in high school hard a few times, and I carried on a stretcher, so I know how it feels. But I don't know, man. They both hurt.
You take a lot of nicks and bruises being a catcher. Hey, man, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with us on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. And I'd like to invite you back. Maybe after Ty's first regular season game, I could give you a call. We won't keep you nearly as long. Are you open for something like that, man?
Yeah, man, that's fine. Give me a call. I'll actually be in Cleveland for that first game, so
okay, man.
Give me a call whenever.
You could come out live if you were here on a Monday night. But tell your brother LG's a crazy bastard that gets a little bit out of control. I thought I was giving him good advice, man. I never would pick on him to obviously his confidence is not going to be shattered under anything I say, man. But I just want a winning frickin' football team, man, you know?
I feel it, man.
Tell him I wish him the best of luck. Tell him to stay healthy. And tell him to learn how to frickin' run, okay?
I'll try.
I don't care what Kenyon says. This offensive
While you're talking
line,
about me being short, have you seen LG? He damn sure ain't been running in a long time.
I'll tell you one thing right now. You try to tackle me, man. I'm 5'6" around, man.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad thing, man.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thanks a lot, Ty. God bless you, man. Have a healthy life, and good luck to you and your family and your brother this NFL season. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us
man.
on. Thank you.
Anytime, man. There you have it, folks. We just got off the phone with Ty Weeden, the brother of Brandon Weeden, the Cleveland Browns quarterback, the 22nd pick in the overall in the draft. I'm still a little bit skeptical. Kenyon thinks we're in a big rush because Colt McCoy sucks so bad. That's exactly the truth.
Colt McCoy is a great backup quarterback. What we have, and you're going to see real soon, we have an official starting quarterback. Our issues that we've had with this team, LG, so you know, we have not had a starting quarterback. We have drafted previously to Brandon Weeden, 2 first-round draft picks as quarterbacks. That's Tim Couch and Brady Quinn. Brandon Weeden is our 3rd quarterback we picked in the first round, and I'm telling you, this guy is the truth. He's 28 years old.
Are you telling me that Tim Couch was not a good quality
Tim Couch was a good quarterback.
We fucking destroyed your guy's career,
Tim
man.
Couch put us in the playoffs.
The Cleveland Browns destroyed Tim Couch.
Yeah, but
and the Cleveland Browns are just on the verge of destroying Brandon Weeden too, man. That's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to see it happen to Brandon Weeden. What happened to Tim Couch?
It's not.
You can't tell me that the Browns offensive line is worth a shit, man.
He's got Joe Thomas.
He's got Joe Thomas and Mack. Other than that, he's got nothing.
And other teams, what other teams have 2 All-Pro, NFL All-Pro linemen on their line?
Hey.
This is a good line. It's a good line.
They got 2 guys on the freaking line that are good.
It's 2 guys.
2 guys.
2 guys.
Joe Thomas.
There's only 5 guys on the line.
The other 3 guys need a lot of work, man. You still can't run the ball over the right side of the Cleveland Browns. Did you see the freaking game last week?
LG.
You can't run the ball on the freaking right side of the offensive line.
How is Colt McCoy going to help you?
He can run his ass off and get out of trouble, where I'm afraid Brandon Weeden is not as mobile as Colt McCoy. Now, I'm not saying Colt McCoy is a better quarterback than Brandon Weeden, but I am saying Colt McCoy can run, and Colt McCoy looked pretty good this year, man, in preseason. I know you said he looks good every preseason. We got a caller on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We got enough time for one guy. Who is this? Hello?
Oh, God, listen to him crap.
What's up, man? Hello?
Hello?
What's up?
LG, how the heck are you?
We're doing fantastic. How you doing, man?
Good, man. That was a great interview.
Well, thank you
I
very
just
much.
had to call in and, yeah, that was a very excellent interview.
Well, thank you so much, man. I mean, it works
Very
great when you
good.
have a great guest like Ty Weeden. He's a professional athlete. He made it to Major League Baseball, and when you're working with a guy like that, he's a class act. I can't say enough good things
absolutely.
about Ty Weeden. He really is a class act.
Yeah,
But other than that, man.
absolutely.
Hey, we're going to see you Friday night, man, or what?
Oh, well, as long as you guys still want to have me back.
Okay, do you have anything you'd like to add? What do you think the Browns are going to do this year?
You know what? I think the Browns, I picture a good year for them, and I'm not a big sports fan. I'm a third weather fan.
Well, there you have it, folks.
But you know what? I see a good direction.
Well, you're breaking up real bad, man, so we're gonna end this call. cut him off, Kenyon. We'll cut him off at the legs, man. I'll tell you, LG has his concerns about the Cleveland Browns. I really want to know if this team's going to go. You're so full of shit.
I don't have any concerns.
Yeah,
my
right.
concerns
I'm going to hear you crying like a little broad.
With the coaching. I don't have no concerns this year with the quarterback. I knew Colt McCoy last year. The first play of the first game of the NFL season last year, Colt McCoy fumbled. That told me everything.
Okay, Montario fumbled the first play of the first carry the other night. Shall we throw him out?
You keep bringing up
Shall we throw him out?
I've seen Colt McCoy in 2 regular seasons. I've seen it.
You saw him in a season and a half.
Gary Coleman.
He missed 2 games.
I don't need Gary Coleman as my quarterback. I need
the thing is, you would equate him with somebody you could relate to. Gary Coleman is slightly taller than Kenyon Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, roll the music, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to end this edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. I really hope the Browns can have a winning frickin' football season. I don't care who the quarterback is, to tell you the truth. Just win, baby. Don't forget, you want to catch the Browns games with some class this year? Join us. We're going to be down at the Captain's Club on Vine Street every once in a while. If you like playing golf, don't forget the Captain's Club has golf simulators in the back room. The courses are open year-round. Call to make your tee time. Remember that. Call. Kenyon, correct me if I'm wrong. The number is 440-918-8881 to the Captain's Club to get your tee time. You want great dinners? They got great specials. Click on the link on streamingsportstalk.com. Visit the Captain's Club. Look at the specials that they have every single night of the week. You can't believe how good the food is. Even Kenyon Johnson likes the food down at the Captain's Club. And that guy is one cookie eater. He was a chef, man. So if you can cook food good enough for Kenyon Johnson to eat, you know it's damn good food. Only available at the Captain's Club down on Vine Street. We'll see you next week with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right here on streamingsportstalk.com. Coming up next, don't forget, it's unsportsmanlike conduct. The beautiful Kenyon Johnson, and we're going to give him some shit about being short.
Thanks for calling me beautiful. I appreciate it.
I didn't call you beautiful. I said the beautiful Kenyon Johnson and Christian Patterson. Right here, 7 o'clock, 7:05 on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. We'll see you next week.
When everything is good, when everything is good, when everything is good.